Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a critical cybersecurity concept called application hopping. More specifically, we're going to demonstrate how Threatlocker's ring fencing technology can completely shut down this attack vector. So, what exactly is application hopping? Imagine an attacker gains control of a legitimate whitelisted application on your system. Maybe something innocuous like a terminal emulator. Now, if that application can then launch another application with elevated privileges, you've got a serious problem. That's application hopping, and it's a common way for attackers to escalate their access and cause damage. For today's demo, we're going to simulate a common scenario. We'll use PuTTY, a popular SSH client, which is often whitelisted in many environments. We'll then show how PuTTY could be used to launch PowerShell with elevated rights. And from there, an attacker could potentially execute malicious commands. So first, let's look at what happens without Threatlocker ring fencing enabled. And in my desktop, I have PuTTY right here, and I can run this as an administrator. And from the application, I can open up a file explorer where I could navigate around Windows folders and look for System32, Windows PowerShell, and then from here I could right-click PowerShell application and run as administrator. So what will be the malicious attack here? So let's say I have gained the elevated rights using PuTTY to elevate Windows PowerShell. I could just execute a command that I could add a malicious user into the system. And then after that, I could also add that user to a administrator uh, local group. And just like that, PowerShell opens with full administrative rights. From here, an attacker could add users as I've shown, disable security features, or deploy malware, all while seemingly operating within a trusted application. This is the vulnerability we need to address. And this is where Threatlocker ring fencing comes into play. Ring fencing allows you to define exactly what an application can and cannot do, and critically what other application it's allowed to interact with. Think of it like this. You have a customer inside your bank, and you only allow them to transact to your bank teller or to your customer representative, but you don't allow that customer to go to your vault or to any restricted area within the bank. And that's the same thing with ring fencing. So here in our Threatlocker portal, we could enable or create a policy by clicking the policy button. And then from here, we will describe the details such as the policy name, the description, if it's active, and if we want to log the policy if it's being matched to the application. And then we could apply it on the workstation level, organizational, or on a specific machine. And then here we have the conditions where we select the application. In this case will be PuTTY. And then this is where the magic begins under actions section. With permit with ring fence, we have options like restrict the application with other application, which what we needed. We have accessing files, changing the registry, and accessing the internet. Both of these or all of these four options will restrict those permission. And in this case, I just want to restrict application hopping from happening in the computer system. So I just enable this button. And then the difference between these two buttons is that the allow all except below is that whatever is listed here will be blocked. But in this other button, which is allow only the below, will block everything and only allow the application that is listed here. Okay, so this is where you put PowerShell or command prompt if you want to block list. But if you want to whitelist, you'll select this one. And once we hit create, that policy will be created. And then let's go to the computer. So basically what happened a while ago is that we showed you that it is possible for an attacker to use PuTTY to create a user or perform malicious commands. Here I could also do that as well, run as an administrator. But the difference is with the policy that we've created, we will not be able to perform the same attack that we did from the previous computer. So I'll just search for system32 and then look for Windows PowerShell version 1, and then from here you could find the PowerShell, but even if I right click and run as an administrator, that will be blocked by Threatlocker.